Hey everybody, so we got a new chapter of Vigilantes to go over this week, and if there's one thing that I had to say about the chapter, it's that I'm really happy that the fight between number 6 and Koichi is going on for so long. Every single one of us wants My Hero Academia Vigilantes to end spectacularly. We don't want it to end super abruptly, so I'm totally fine with the fight lasting more than 2 months. It's earning the name of a war arc. With that being said though, I'm not going to go too much into the spoilers during the intro. If you enjoy the content here at the bar, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you want a chance to live chat with me during the video's premiere, be sure to hit that notification bell. Now let's head inside and grab ourselves a drink. Welcome to the bar, folks. Okay, so, Chapter 107 of My Hero Academia Vigilantes. There are a few aspects of this chapter that I would like to dwell on, but primarily I'm going to be ranting about the fact that this chapter does quite a bit of character development on Koichi's side. Because what the chapter really does is hammer home the fact that Koichi is a natural-born hero. He's mastered his quirk now so much that his reactions to conflicts are just second nature. And honestly, that's what this chapter focuses on mostly, that Koichi is becoming a larger-than-life hero and is more or less, I guess, kind of pulling a Broly? I'll explain more, so let's just head over to the wall now and I'll try to be a bit more thorough about what I mean. Okay, so primarily during this chapter, we see that number 6 is becoming increasingly more frustrated with the fact that Koichi has such mastery over Slide and Glide now. Cause right now, Koichi can really only use Slide and Glide for defense and evasion, so when it comes to number 6's onslaught of attacks, his frustration is reaching its apex. Number 6 has gotten so frustrated now that he's no longer even using his explosive punches. And even while he's in his accelerated state to try to catch Koichi off guard, Koichi is still keeping up with him. And the vestige of O'Clock is actually breaking it down as to why Koichi is able to keep up with him, and he says that overclock is meant to accelerate someone's thought processes. And look, that pretty much means that you move faster than everybody else because the quirk itself enhances your thought processes. Your body is moving faster because you're acting on a molecular level of reaction time. The rub is that Koichi has become so adept at using Slide and Glide's repulsors that he's able to counter number 6 subconsciously, to the point where he's actually compared to All Might on 2 separate occasions. And what I take away from that statement is that Koichi more or less had a mastery over Slide and Glide like All Might had a mastery over One For All. They're in such synchronization with their quirk to the point where the quirk just acts as an extension of their body. The symbiosis between Koichi and his quirk is so intense that when the vestige of O'Clock, or whatever this thing is, comments on number 6's punches, he states that without a power akin to All Might, he's not going to be able to break through Koichi's defenses. And that becomes the moment when number 6 realizes that Koichi is actually predicting his pattern of movements. Cause when number 6 tries to accelerate beyond Koichi's predictions, he isn't even able to keep up as Koichi fires a Shurigo Blam right at his face to force number 6 to back away. And he does that when number 6 thinks that he has an opening after cracking Koichi in the chest. And this is arguably when the best part of the chapter occurs, because the vestige of O'Clock explains to number 6 that his accelerate can process thoughts faster than anybody. The thing is, Koichi is acting on such a reactionary level that his body moves without even really thinking. I can't help it, man. I love the fact that they stick with that theme amongst the main protagonists of My Hero Academia. This story has always preached from the very beginning that the true sign of a hero is that their body moves without really thinking. Though in Koichi's case right now, instead of that becoming the reactionary tool to save somebody's life, that reactionary tool is actually helping Koichi adapt as the fight progresses on. Take a second and think about that real quick, because Koichi is actually maturing so much that he's adapting similar to how Broly adapted when he fought against Goku and Vegeta, meaning the more that number 6 battles Koichi, Koichi is going to continuously adapt to the situation, which will end in number 6's defeat. Because this is the moment where the vestige of O'Clock tells number 6 two things. One, he should abandon the mission completely, and number 6 should take care to never encounter the Crawler ever again. That gave me chills. That right there was true recognition that Koichi is an absolute force to be reckoned with now. My expression to the Vestige saying that was pretty much the one you see right here from number 6, because the Vestige breaks it down very thoroughly for him. Between Koichi's high-speed movement, projectiles, and defensive force fields coming out as pure reflexes, number 6 is on the verge of defeat, because at the moment, number 6 has only tagged Koichi one time, meaning if this fight continues to drag on, he knows exactly how to do defense, so the next step for Koichi would be to adapt and then go on the offensive, and that is definitely not what number 6 needs. Because if number 6 runs away right now and then comes back, with the eventual mastery and continued practice of his quirk, Koichi will surpass number 6 and then become the perfect foil for him. And that's when O'Clock draws the second All Might comparison, because much like All Might in this situation, Koichi has become the one to avoid permanently. Now, this is a moment in My Hero Academia Vigilantes that I personally have been waiting for. The moment where the bad guy realizes that he's completely outclassed. Koichi has been mastering his quirk over the past 4 years, and we've seen that he knows how to use defensive and offensive capabilities. The thing is, he tends to not break out the offense because he genuinely doesn't like to hurt people. But the fact that it's now official that Koichi is not to be trifled with is amazing. It really does make me hope that he does get introduced in My Hero Academia. He's an absolute force to be reckoned with now. And to be honest, it's about time that Koichi gets the power up to finally finish his power scaling. In the past couple of months, we've seen our boy progress so much to the point where he himself is the savior of one town. And the best part about this chapter is that it pretty much signals that the end of the arc is coming, mostly because we now have the quote-unquote rage mode of the villain. Because upon hearing that he needs to run away as soon as possible from Koichi, it sets him off and he freaks out. And when I mean freaks out, I mean freaks out. He is a monster now. Popstep is no longer the target of his animosity. It's all going towards the crawler now. And with that, Phase 6 has officially begun, and we're gonna have to start wondering what's gonna happen in Chapter 108 if Koichi doesn't start using offensive moves, because number 6 doesn't really resemble that of a human anymore. And remember, one of the main apprehensions that Koichi had on using his kill shots was that he didn't like using them against humanoid objects, meaning if they resembled a human, he had an inadvertent bias not to use deadly force. And with number 6 beefing up to become a monstrous amalgam of his former self, we have to wonder if Koichi will take those necessary steps to try to defeat number 6. Cause look, unless number 6 is taken back by All For One at the last minute, it's all but certain number 6 is probably going to be locked up at the end of Vigilantes, barring any crazy Wicked Witch of the West type circumstances where number 6 becomes unstable and breaks apart. One of the theories that I've seen floating around the bar is that number 6 could serve as a minor antagonist in My Hero Academia, being that all of those high-profile prisons have inmates running around Japan, and one of them could possibly be number 6. And let's be real, if number 6 is at a prison, the first thing he's gonna do is go straight for Koichi and Popstep. I mean, that's if Horikoshi decides to bring the Vigilantes into My Hero Academia as a plot device. And to be quite honest, I feel like the window for the Vigilantes to show up in My Hero Academia is bigger than ever at this point, because after this most recent arc wraps up, what's next? My guess is that the kids from UA are gonna split up into teams and try to take down all of the bad guys that are taking over Japan, with Deku arguably taking on the most high profile of them all. I think what would be even more ridiculous is if My Hero Academia Vigilantes eventually catches up to My Hero Academia and then becomes a title that simultaneously runs alongside it. Meaning, if Vigilantes doesn't end and continues, we could possibly see the characters from My Hero Academia cross over into Vigilantes like we've never seen before. I mean, imagine possibly getting side arcs featuring characters like Ida teaming up with Koichi to take down Stain, and Stain transitions back into My Hero Academia Vigilantes. It would be the perfect opportunity for Horikoshi to expand his continuity. And I'm sorry to get everybody's hopes up, but it's pretty unlikely that that happens. That's some Western comics level of continuity, and simply enough, that just really doesn't happen in manga much. But I gotta say, all in all, seeing Koichi finally compared to someone the likes of All Might, it feels like my protagonist has finally been acknowledged as a true hero. And seeing number 6 melt down to that level upon finding out that information that he'll never be able to keep up with Koichi, it was absolutely priceless. I love when villains feel that hopeless. That was the type of scene that I've been waiting for. The moment where the villain realizes that he's never going to be able to catch the hero, and in retaliation decides to go all out only to, lose dramatically. Because honestly, that's what I'm expecting in chapter 108 and 109. Phase 6 is not going to go very well for number 6, and I am looking forward to it. So yeah, yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's review. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Koichi is an absolute force now. Oh, yeah, one more thing. During my last review, I asked everyone if you could change the name of Koichi's quirk, what would you change it to? And Donnie Draco over here had the most popular reply with saying push and pull. I like the name of this new quirk compared to a lot of the suggestions because it's stuck with the original theme of slide and glide. And I like this name because it makes me think that since he can cling to objects, he might be able to pull objects towards him as well. I was drawn between push and pull and repulsor field, but I had to go with the crowd on this one. Either way, this week is the 5th anniversary of My Hero Academia Vigilantes, and I'm kind of upset they didn't really have a cover page to promote, you know, the 5 years of this amazing spin-off, because I really don't know any other spin-off manga that's been around for this long, and I'm not considering continuations to be spin-offs. And to be quite honest, at this point, I think that the anime announcement is nigh. With the introduction of Shirakumo, My Hero Academia people are going to become curious as to who that character was, and that curiosity might lead them to Vigilantes. I mean, either way, it's money to be made here by these studios, so not making it into an anime is a kind of bullshit move and a missed opportunity if you ask me. I just think that the introduction of Shirakumo could possibly act as the catalyst if they don't pull a fast one and turn Aizawa's arc into a movie. Though, that's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed the content here at the bar, be sure to hit that like button. And if you have any thoughts as to what chapter 108 or 109 has in store, be sure to leave it in the comments down below. And I'm gonna go reread this chapter again because I absolutely loved it. So until next time, I'll catch y'all later. Cheers!